Thinking of exiting your business or taking on a private equity partner to help you grow faster? BizNexus has you covered. Tap into our network of thousands of best-fit investors, acquirers, and proven M&A advisors, and we'll help you begin the relationship confidentially on your terms, your timeline. Learn more at biznexus.com.
Disclaimer from the always present legal team. Podcast conversations don't necessarily reflect the views of BizNexus Incorporated. Everything you hear is informational news and updates from around the industry. We're not recommending any investments. We're not offering any investment advice. Be sure to do your own homework.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with BizNexus. We always try to bring you the most relevant information for your business, and today we're going to explore a topic that could seriously impact your future as a business owner.
That's a big one, that's for sure.
We're talking about family offices buying businesses. And not just any businesses. We're zeroing in on the middle market, companies roughly valued, between $2 and $50 million.
That's right in that sweet spot.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. These family offices, they're increasingly bypassing those big private equity firms we always hear about.
Cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. And going directly for these middle market companies. What's the deal with that? Wouldn't it be easier to just work with a private equity firm? They handle all the details, right?
Well, on the surface, yeah, it seems simpler. But there's a real shift happening here. Family offices, they're really looking for more control over their investments.
So it's about being more hands-on.
Yeah, they want to have a direct say in how these businesses are run. And that's not always something you get with a private equity firm, They have their own agenda, their own way of doing things.
So it's more than just the money for these family offices. It's about shaping the direction of the company, making a real impact.
Exactly. And we're seeing this trend play out in the numbers, too. Like, check out this stat from the Citi Private Capital Group. Their survey back in 2021 found that almost half of all family offices have over 25% of their portfolios in direct private investments.
Wow, that's a pretty big chunk of change. So this isn't just some small niche thing.
Oh, no, not at all. And the Family Office Exchange, they found that between 2014 and 2018, the share of assets that family offices dedicated to these direct private equity investments, it jumped by 50%.
50%? That's a huge increase. It sounds like this is a trend that's really gaining momentum.
Absolutely. And you can see why. Think about it. When you cut out the private equity firm, you avoid those management fees, and that frees up a ton of capital.
Right, capital that can then be pumped right back into the business.
Exactly. Family offices are realizing they can manage these investments on their own or bring in specific experts when they need to without having to give up a big chunk of their returns.
So they're getting more control, potentially higher returns.
Yeah.
It's a win-win for them. But what's in it for the business owners? Why would they choose a family office over a traditional private equity firm?
Well, there are a few key reasons for that. One of the big ones is the time horizon. See, private equity firms, they usually work on a pretty tight schedule, 5 to 7 years. That's the typical time frame.
Kind of like flipping a house. Get in, fix it up, sell it quick.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. But family offices, many of them, they're playing a longer game. They're thinking generations ahead. They want to hold on to these investments, sometimes indefinitely, and really nurture them over the long haul.
So it's about building something that lasts, not just a quick profit.
Right. Sustainability, legacy, those are the kinds of things that really appeal to many family offices.
I can see how that would be really attractive to a business owner who's, poured their heart and soul into building their company. That stability, that long-term vision, it's got to be a huge selling point.
It definitely is. A great example of this is Walnut Ridge. They manage the investments for the Canfor family, the people behind Gojo Industries, the makers of Purell,
Yeah.
Their vice president, Michael Barnes, he's said that they're not bound by these artificial timelines. They can think long term about the next generation, about making sure their wealth grows alongside their family. It's a whole different mindset.
That's a powerful concept. It's not just about the money. It's about creating something meaningful, something that has a real impact, a legacy.
Exactly. And that's what a lot of family offices are looking for. They want to invest in things that align with their values, their vision. It's about making a difference, not just making a buck.
Okay, so we've got these two big advantages for businesses thinking about family offices as buyers. That direct investment thing and that longer term outlook.
Right.
But there's got to be more to the story, right? It can't all be, smooth sailing.
Well, there is another key difference that can be a real game changer for business owners.
Okay, hit me with it.
It all comes down to the level of involvement family offices tend to bring to the table.
So it's not just about, handing over a check and then disappearing.
No, no, not necessarily. A lot of these family offices, they have deep roots in specific industries, sometimes going back generations. It's not just about parking their money somewhere. They actually want to, roll up their sleeves and really get involved.
So it's like having a partner, not just an investor.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. They might offer guidance, introduce you to their network, really help you strategize and grow the business.
That could be incredibly valuable, especially for a business that's, maybe looking for more than just funding. Like they need that strategic direction too.
Absolutely. It's like having a built-in board of advisors, but they're fully invested in your success.
But I guess that level of involvement could also be a bit, overwhelming for some business owners. What if they don't want to give up that much control?
That's a valid point. Not everyone's comfortable sharing the reins, even if it comes with some perks. Finding the right fit, a family office that truly understands your vision and values, that's crucial.
Right. It's got to be a good match on both sides.
It's like any partnership, really. Communication, trust, shared goals, that's what makes it work.
Now, you mentioned that Michael Barnes from Walnut Ridge earlier. Didn't he say something interesting about this hands-on approach?
He did. He called family offices operators at heart. They like to get in there, get their hands dirty, use their experience to help businesses thrive.
So it's more than just a financial transaction for them.
Right. It's about making a real impact, being part of something bigger.
Okay, so we've talked about the good stuff, but let's get real for a second. How does a business owner even find these family offices? They're not exactly, advertising in the phone book.
That's the tricky part, right? Family offices are notoriously private. They value discretion, flying under the radar.
So how do you even, start the conversation? Is there some secret handshake or something?
No secret handshake, unfortunately, but there are strategies that can help. The first thing is you got to do your research.
Homework time.
Exactly. Identify family offices that are already operating in your industry or those that have a history of investing in similar businesses.
So find the ones that get what you do, speak your language.
Yeah, alignment is key. Then you got to craft a compelling story. Showcase your strengths, your growth potential, why partnering with a family office makes sense for both of you.
All right, so it's pitch time. But how do you even get your foot in the door? Cold calling seems like a long shot.
Yeah, it rarely works in this world. This is where networking comes into play. Do you have connections with investment bankers, lawyers, anyone who works closely with family offices?
Ah, the power of networking. It always circles back to that, doesn't it?
It's essential, especially in this space. They can make introductions, help you navigate those unspoken rules. You know how it goes.
It's who you know, right?
Exactly. But even if you don't have those direct connections, there are other options. There are actually specialized databases out there that connect businesses with family office investors.
Oh, wow. So it's like a matchmaking service for business deals?
Well, it's not quite that simple, but these databases can be a gold mine of information, investment criteria, industry focus, even contact details. One good example is Generational Equity. They have a database of over 35,000 registered buyers, many of them family offices, and they're all actively looking for investment opportunities.
35,000. That's a lot of potential partners.
Yeah.
But how do you make sure you stand out from the crowd?
That's where your compelling story comes in, highlighting what makes your business unique. But there's another crucial element, something that people often overlook.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more.
You got to understand the culture of family offices. They're often driven by values that go beyond just financial returns. They care about philanthropy, social impact, leaving a positive legacy.
So it's not just about the money, it's about shared values, a bigger purpose.
Exactly. Take the time to research the family behind the office. What are they passionate about? What causes do they support? What's their vision for the future?
So tailor your pitch to their heart, not just their wallet.
That's the idea. Show them that your business aligns with their goals, that you're in it for the long haul. You're not just looking for a quick exit, but a real partnership.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Research, networking, storytelling, cultural alignment. It's a whole process.
It is, but it's worth it.
Is there anything else that business owners should keep in mind as they, navigate this world?
One more crucial thing, yeah. It's about patience and persistence.
So this isn't going to happen overnight.
No, connecting with family offices and securing an investment, it takes time. You got to build relationships, nurture trust, demonstrate your commitment. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Don't give up too soon.
Exactly. Don't be discouraged if you don't hear back right away, or if those first few conversations don't lead to a deal. Family offices are careful, they're thorough, they're stewards of their family's wealth, so they don't rush into things.
Makes sense. They're playing the long game.
Right. So be prepared for a longer conversation. Be persistent, but also respectful of their time and their process. The best partnerships are built on mutual trust and understanding.
So put in the work, build those relationships, and the rewards will come.
Exactly. Family offices can be incredible partners, but it takes effort, it takes strategy, and a genuine commitment to building something together.
Wow. I feel like we've really uncovered some really valuable insights today about this whole world of family offices, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. We've gone pretty deep on what they're looking for, how they're different from those traditional investment firms, and even how a business owner can, approach them strategically.
It's been fascinating, but as we've been talking, and I keep thinking about that aura of exclusivity that kind of surrounds family offices.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost feel like this closed door world, like a club that's really hard to get into.
I see what you mean, yeah. Family offices, they definitely value their privacy. They operate with a certain level of discretion, They're not exactly out there shouting their investment criteria from the rooftops.
Exactly. And I think for a business owner who's hearing all this for the first time, it can be kind of intimidating. They might think, well, this all sounds great, but is it really an option for me? Am I even in the running?
That's a fair question, and it's important to address that feeling of intimidation. Navigating this world, it does require a bit of strategy, a bit of understanding, but it's not completely out of reach.
So the door's not totally slammed shut, right? There's a way in, even for those of us who don't run in those elite circles.
Right. It comes down to being proactive, to showcasing your value, and to building those genuine relationships. Remember, family offices are always on the lookout for promising businesses to invest in.
So they need us as much as we might need them.
That's a great way to put it. It's a two-way street. And those strategies we talked about, researching potential investors, crafting a compelling story, leveraging your network, those are the keys to opening those doors.
It's about taking charge, being strategic, being persistent.
Exactly. And remember, you have a story to tell, you have a vision to share, and you have a business that could truly thrive with the right partner.
It's really inspiring to hear you say that. It makes this whole world of family offices feel so much more accessible.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for, to demystify this space and empower business owners to really explore this avenue.
You've definitely done that today. We've covered a lot of ground. The motivations, the challenges, the strategies, even those more intangible aspects like cultural alignment. It's been a truly insightful deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with something concrete, some actionable steps they can take away from this conversation.
That's a great idea. Let's boil it down to 3 key actions.
All right, perfect. So for all those business owners out there who are thinking about partnering with a family office, here's what you can do. First, identify those family offices that are already operating in your industry. Research their investment history, their leadership team, and most importantly, their values.
Yeah, that's step 1. Find those potential partners who really align with your vision.
Number 2, prepare that compelling documentation. Showcase your business's strengths, your growth potential. Craft a narrative that resonates with those values we talked about, one that really highlights that shared vision, that long-term potential.
Tell your story in a way that connects not just financially, but emotionally as well.
And finally, don't try to do it all alone. Explore those resources out there like Generational Equity that specialize in connecting businesses with family office buyers. They can provide guidance, expertise, and access to those networks we talked about.
Exactly. Leverage those tools and those connections to really navigate this space effectively.
Those are 3 solid steps to get you started on this exciting journey.
A journey that can lead to some really rewarding long-term partnerships.
All right, listeners, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of family offices buying businesses.
It's been a pleasure joining you today.
Remember, family offices they're a growing force in the investment landscape. and they can be incredible partners for businesses that are looking for sustainable growth and shared success.
Don't let those perceived barriers hold you back.
Embrace the challenge, do your research, tell your story, and be persistent. The right partners are out there waiting to discover you.
Thanks for tuning in to The Deep Dive.
Until next time, happy exploring.
Acquiring a business? BizNexus simplifies it. Access thousands of updated opportunities in our DIY marketplace or supercharge team sourcing with OmniSource, your all-in-one platform for on-market, off-market, and coming-soon deals. Scale smarter today. Learn more or book a demo at www.biznexus.com.